What up, dude? And welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Lions Station Unite. On today's show, we recap the NFL Combine as a whole, and then we go over some top performers in position of need for the Detroit Lions. But first, I got to bring in the crew. First up, fresh off of the winter cuffing season. Y'all know him, the ladies' pet, the men's regret. You ain't seen nothing yet. My man, L Cool, tell us what's up, my guy.
Was on Proud Nation and good morning.
All right, y'all see him over there in the screen, man. He is the boxing pride of Jackson, Michigan. He's got on his OMG It's Lions Talk shirt today. Who?
Coach Jones. Who is Coach Mike Jones? What's going on, Lion fans?
Let's get this thing started.
Right now.
Let go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep. All right, welcome back to the show, people. Now we're going to give our thoughts on the Combine as a whole. I'm going to kick it over to who?
Coach Jones. And the Combine made me smile, man. The Combine made me smile. It's a lot of players who stepped up. There's a lot of eye shakers, a lot of like, oh my Lord. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jordan Davis is one of them. Like, wow, like you gotta be kidding me, man. And also, you know what I learned from this Combine is that there are some top quarterbacks in this Combine. The thing that has happened in Woodward Sports kind of led me to the light to see, but these quarterbacks are not coming from the big schools. So that's why it's being underplayed about how good these quarterbacks are, because they're not coming from a USC or Alabama or a UCLA. They're coming from Liberty. They're coming from Cincinnati. You know, they come from Pittsburgh. They're not coming from those big elite schools. And I think that's why the QB class is being underplayed. But I seen a lot of arm talent out there. So I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what y'all saw, what y'all seen with your eyes at the Combine.
Well, I lead that quarterback talk up to you. I may have missed it, so I wasn't seeing the same thing. But overall, just like you said, it's high performance. This Combine. So many records was broken, I believe, with the wide receiver group. Like this is, I think they're calling it the fastest wide receiver group at the Combine in history. Things like that. Jordan Davis running and I thought a 4.8 was it a 4.82 was fast. That was like the unofficial. It's like a 4.78, something like that. So yeah, it's a couple. It was another gentleman, I can't remember his name, and that's it says who stood out to you at the Combine. I can't remember his name, but he's a defensive lineman out of Connecticut. They said he was down from 360 to 325, and he ran a sub 540. So I don't know. I don't know if these guys just all trained real well for the 40 and stuff, but it was a lot of high performances there. A lot of talent all over the place. Is going to be a big depth draft for a lot of teams, I believe. I'm not really sure if there's a whole bunch of star power. If it is, it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. But we'll see, man. I'm excited to see. There's a lot of good prospects out there, and I hope they all find a significant place in this league.
All right. So first of all, I want to say, wow, I missed this last year. You missed this. You missed what they call the underwear Olympics last year. The dudes out there getting it in, getting it done. Fastest wide receiver group in history, as far as LL said, and it was the fastest defensive back combine in history as well. I mean, you had 10, 11 guys who was running, sub 440s in each one of those groups. You look at these guys, man, especially these new corners, man, these guys are huge. I mean, they're 6'3" and they're running 340s. I mean, we had a guy from my area down here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, at Fayetteville State, man. He stood out himself. Dude was like 6'3". I mean, like, these guys are elite speed athletes. you look at the combine as a whole, it was just so much speed at every level and in
Right.
every grouping that there was just so
Yeah.
much speed. The Georgia group stood out. I mean, on that defense, you can see why that they were the top defense in the college football last year because they were just that fast. I mean, each one of these guys at each level, and they stayed around to watch each other blow up the combine. I mean, Jordan Davis, Trayvon Walker, seen yesterday with the DBs. It was just a show for the Georgia Bulldogs throughout the combine. You saw some good quarterback throwing. You know, I won't say it was. I won't. I would never say. I would never put someone and say that their combine is just. You know, what I'm saying their draft status is just based off their combine because you got pro day, you got tape. You know, but this is one of those things where they can kind of like it's the resume. It adds to the resume. You know, you can go out and say what he did on the field or what they did in their interview process. And I would have to be remiss if I didn't say one thing that stood out to me was Malik Willis, and it wasn't on the field and it wasn't in an interview. He was outside of the stadium giving clothing items to someone in need that was living on the street. Open up his suitcase and giving somebody something to need. That shows character. You know what I'm saying? That builds character. And there was another prospect out there at quarterback. I think he was out of Princeton or Brown University. I think it was Princeton. God, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. He was out there on the sideline picking up all the garbage that people was leaving on, you know, in the on the bench area. I mean, it not only showed on the field, but it showed character for these young men to be out there, you know what I'm saying, not thinking about themselves and giving of themselves and helping out. You know, you didn't have to do that. You know, they could have waited for the crew to come out there and clean up that mess. Or, you know, Malik Willis didn't have to stop his day, you know, getting to the combine and open a suitcase to give someone something of need. So that was my thing. But I missed the combine, but boy, was it fast and it was furious. And I loved it. I started watching it while I was on vacation. I was catching the highlights, watching on NFL.com on my little cell phone while I was on the boat. But I got back on Saturday, watched all Saturday and watched all Sunday. So it was some great times watching the combine. I was like, man, I can't, you know, tell you how much I missed the combine, but just because we didn't have it last year.
Right.
You were just watching pro days and you didn't get to see everyone. And it did some people some disservice, you know what I'm saying, not being at the combine. I mean, who knows? I mean, look at people who named for himself. Cooper Kupp, that's how he shined at the combine, and that's how he got drafted because the guy played at Washington. I mean, he played at a little school at Montana State or whatever school he played for. That he wasn't getting noticed. And there's a guy that that we're going to go over later that I think he's going to shine because of his combine. He had a really good combine. All right, so thank you all for checking out the content. If you like the video, comment on the video, share the video with your friends so we can get this content in front of more Lions fans just like yourself. You know, we on that march to 4,000. So get on the bus, Gus, get on the train, Wayne, get on the ride, Clyde. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Now, it's time for the family discussion topic of the day. Who stood out to you at the combine? Now, it may be one of the guys that we're going to talk about here real soon, but it may not be. So, you know, hit us up right here in the comments down below. You know how we do. We pick 6 of those things to read on the next show. But we're going to tell you right now who the top performers that came out of the combine. I'm going to hit up my man, Coach Jones. He first up. Give me your 2 guys you thought that were the top performers in this draft.
Okay, man. And like I said it before, man, first stood out to me was Jordan Davis. He just made me smile. Man, I'm like, man, look, go on, boy. Because, you know, you look at Jordan Davis, man, he is 6'6", and he is 341 pounds, and he ran a 4.78 40 time. Man, I'm going to say it again. He ran a 4.78 40 time at 6'6", 341 pounds. He also had a broad jump of 10.3. So, you know, he just, man, he is an athlete. He's a guy that can that can prove that, like, man, I can go inside or outside. You know what I'm saying? I can play situational defensive end. You know what I'm saying? I can drop back into coverage on the zone blitzes. He's a guy who he covers a lot on that D line with things that you can do. I think he's clearly jumped into the top 15. I don't think Jordan Davis gets out of the top 15 in the draft. He's just that type of guy. And then we'll move over. Aiden Hutchinson, I think he also did himself a service. He showed that he's not, he has to shed this stigma. People are, oh, he's a big, stiff guy. Aiden Hutchinson is an athletic guy. Aiden Hutchinson, his arms are a little short, but you know who also they said arms was real short? Vita Vea. And that ain't affect Vita Vea. So I don't play too much into that. Aiden Hutchinson is 6'6". He is 260 pounds. He ran a 4.74, which that just blows your mind that Davis ran a 4.78. Okay, like, you know what I'm saying? That just brings that into more play. But Aiden Hutchinson actually had a 36-inch vertical. So a lot of people, I don't know, Aiden Hutchinson, man, listen, that dude's the truth. He's going top 2. There's no doubts about it. That guy, his motor, they compare him to Jared Allen from the Vikings, and we all know how Jared Allen tortured us. He tortured us, man. I had nightmares of Jared Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Aiden Hutchinson, I believe that he will be going to the Lions. If not, I think the Lions going to trade out. But y'all tell me what y'all think about these two guys, man.
Yeah, I mean, Davis, of course, was the star of the show. I think he was the star of the combine. I mean, you had people who, were just like casual fans or just like, star power. Even The Rock was tweeting out about his 40 times. So, I mean, you look at this guy, his overall performance, man, he was just a beast out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Aiden Hutchinson, man, he just proved everybody else, like, he just proved what his worth was.
Right.
I'm not just, I'm not just like a bull power guy. I have speed. I have athleticism. So he just proved his doubters wrong at the combine. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing that you guys said. I just want to throw this in about Jordan Davis. He ran as fast as them skinny legs could carry him.
His legs ain't that skinny, man. His legs ain't that skinny.
And I want to make sure, I'm just picking up his legs are skinny. I never said that he was less of a football player because of that. That just concerns me a little bit. But no, he showed out, man, as well as all the Georgia Bulldogs did. But great performance to the guys, Jordan Davis and Aiden Hutchinson.
All right, what you got now? Who's your guys, man?
My standouts from this combine is the middle linebacker or inside linebacker Chad Muma, if I'm pronouncing that right, and Trayvon Walker. Chad Muma is coming out of Wyoming, 6'3", 239. I'm not going to talk about his hand size. I know that's been a lot of things with both quarterbacks and things like that, but some of his impressive combat numbers where he ran a 4.63 in a 40, 27 bench presses, a 40-inch vertical, 129-inch broad jump. I'm not really, well, you guys may know the significance of this a little bit more than I do, but 3-cone drill was 7 seconds and 7.06 seconds, and 20-yard shuttle was 4.28. I've been hearing a lot of him, a lot about him, I should say. I've seen a couple of mock drafts that have us trying to get him in the second round, or if he's around in the third round. I believe that the combine did help him a little bit, as it did for a lot of people. Like, they have the tape, so now they just have, I guess, whatever else icing that they needed to get them or to solidify them in certain places. Just like Coach Mike said about Jordan Davis, would probably put him in the top 15. I believe that these two gentlemen's combine performances definitely should have locked them, at least Chad Muma, in the first round. He had a really nice performance, especially for the linebacker group. Trayvon Walker, I believe he helped himself probably the most. I seen he was known as a very talented player. I guess for whatever reason, a lot of people just didn't see him going that high. But since his combine, that has completely changed. His prospect grade is a 6.33, at least according to NFL.com. And all right, my screen went away. But he ran a 4.51. He ran a 4.51 in the 40. He had very impressive numbers all over the place. And again, it just solidified him, honestly, as a solid defensive player. Every time I watched him, whenever I would try to see, all right, where's 4.4 at? He's got a real big punch. Like he got a real strong punch, and he set that edge real strong. So I believe all of these the combine numbers would do nothing else but help him. I don't see a guy like Trayvon Walker making it past a team like Baltimore or even the Lions at 32. Chad Muma, if he can sneak into the first round, I definitely don't see him. I definitely don't see him going past the middle of the second round.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you guys think?
With the Trayvon Walker, I mean, he made his case where he can pop up in that top part of that first round of the NFL draft with his numbers. You kind of get lost in the rotation at Georgia because they play a rotational defensive line, so that's why his sack numbers aren't astronomical because he was playing in a rotation, and that's just how they played at Georgia. They just rotated guys in and out, so that's why. But he was good. He set the edge real good, played a run, can get after the quarterback. The guy is blazing fast, and you look at his measurables. I mean, his combine was, I believe he had to be the top of the defensive end class at a 9.98, comparable to Myles Garrett, who had a 9.99. I mean, that's, as far as his RAS score coming out of, and shout out to Math Bomb, I'm saying the custom relative athletic score, breaking down the combine. He's a friend of the show, but I mean, Trayvon Walker and Chad Muma was one of those guys where his name was always out there as far as one of the top linebackers, college football. It's just where he goes to school. He doesn't play in the Power 5 conference, playing at Wyoming. You kind of get that, we'll see. But the dude showed up and showed out at the combine. What you got, Coach Mike?
Man, them Georgia Bulldogs, man, my Lord. Man, Jordan Davis, you got Walker, you got Dean. I mean, it's just ridiculous out there. Quay Walker, I mean, man, I don't.
Went to their pro day because you didn't see the linebacker wasn't even at the combine. I mean, Walker and Dean wasn't even at the combine. So went to their pro day. They go, man, I can't wait for that one.
This is crazy, man. I'm speechless when I look at how good that Georgia defense is. Like, woo! I see why Michigan ain't do nothing in the semifinal.
You can see how they rebound and they beat the brakes off of Alabama as well.
Right. That was a big game for them and for Georgia and the rest of these prospects. But of course, if you like this content, go ahead and like this content. So share, subscribe, leave us a comment. We'll read them on the next show. If you're looking for some hot new gear, go ahead and head over to lionsontheprowlshop.com. Or get you some NFL gear or any sports gear over at fanatics.com. What we got next, my man Curt?
All right, so it's time for my top performance of the draft. Of the NFL Combine. For me, the guys that I saw. Now, first up, I'm gonna go with a guy who kind of like was a hidden gem for me in this combine, and it's wide receiver Alec Pierce out of Cincinnati. Don't hear big things about this guy. Why? Because he didn't play in the Power 5 conference, but he did make an appearance in the college football playoff. The dude had a ridiculous combine. The guy is 6'3", 211 pounds. Guy has a 40-inch vertical. I mean, really. He has a 10 feet 9-inch broad jump. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, this guy. I mean, you look at these guys in this combine. If y'all don't know who this guy is, I'll tell you who he is. The guy is the favorite target of my man Coach Jones' favorite guy, Desmond Ridder. So, with that being said, he showed up and showed out. With him proving his worth with the big size, 6'3", like I said, 211 pounds, the dude just had a really good combine. The dude ran a 4.40. Now that shows out to NFL scouts. Now this guy, with his ability to take the top off a defense, he could be a day 2 steal of the draft or a day 3 guy. He doesn't have the big names like a Chris Olave or or Garrett, but
Wilson.
yeah, Garrett
Wilson,
Wilson. But this dude, he can show up and show out. I mean, at 6'3" and he runs a 4.40,
Yeah.
he can take the top off of defense, and he's one of those guys that will probably slide down the draft board because of the amount of defensive players that are out there, and he can be one of those guys that could be a steal for the Lions or any other team looking for some wide receiver help. Lord knows we need it in the Motor City. Definitely.
Don't let me spit my coffee out, Curt.
I mean, hey, tell the truth and shame the devil, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Right.
I gotta say it like it is, man. You know, we gotta keep it 100 right here on the show. Now, here's a guy who had a good combine, and he's one of those guys that's at the top of many people's draft board. A lot of Lions fans are looking for this guy. Now, Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame, had a good and solid workout at the combine. He was one of the very few players that came out of injury from the season to participate in all of the drills of his position group. You look at some of these guys, like a Kayvon Thibodeau, like he ran the 40 and that was it. So, but Hamilton coming off an injury, went out there, participated in every group drill that they had. He didn't run a blazing fast 40, but he's a safety at 4.59. That is average for an NFL safety. He's not a corner. I know we get I think everyone got caught up in the 40 times in this combine because everybody ran so fast, right? So you kind of get caught up and say, "Oh, he didn't run that fast," but dude's a safety. We're not looking for him to run a 4.3. If he runs around a 4.5, 4.4, and he's gonna have a pro day coming up here real soon, he's going to be okay. Now here where's he shine, right? So the dude's got some size, 6'4", 220 pounds, 38-inch vertical. And he had a 10 feet, 11-inch broad jump. Now, that is that's some good measurables right there. Now, here's where he shined. If you watch the rest of his workout and did just turn the TV off, I mean, after he ran a slow-ass 40, he only ran a 4.5 40. Well, here's where he stood out. The on-the-field drills. If you looked at him, he had very little wasted movement. He was very fluid. He has the ability to flip his hips and make smooth transition in and out of his breaks and make plays on the ball. You saw the things that you can see on the tape. When you saw him on the field, it actually transferred over to the combine. With some of those drills where these guys were trying to make breaks and make cuts for the ball, he was very crisp, very clean, very fluid in his movements, and that's what you need from a safety that can cover that much of the field. Where he showed that ability to cover from one side of the field to the other in the combine. And it just wasn't a fluke. We just saw it on the field. It actually transferred to the scouts. Now Coach Mike is grinning because he know I'm coming at him right now.
I mean, no. So the thing, hold on, Curt. The thing is that, okay, the reasons why, okay, I'm like, man, we can't pick him at number 2 is because 2 of the last 3 years, whether you want Bob Quinn want to admit that we was rebuilding or not, 2 of the last 3 years, you're rebuilding a team, and you getting the dude that's furthest away from the ball. Okay, that you can't do that. You can't do that when you rebuilding your roster. You still got holes up front. You know what I'm saying? And in the front 7, the defense. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot grab a guy that's the furthest away from the ball. You have to do that. And then the second thing is now that we're converting to that, more 4-3 style defense, the safety is not as, I don't want to say important, but he's not as featured as he is in the 3-4. You know what I'm saying? In the 4-3, your corners are more featured and your safeties kind of play a helping role. But in that 3-4, your safeties play more of the featured role and your corners take a back seat. So with that being said, and 2, what kind of was stuck in my mind? Is Justin Jefferson catching a slant route and going to the other side of the field and him trying to chase him down with that slow-ass 4.59 40, man. He ain't catching Justin Jefferson, man. So yeah, man. And going top 2, top 3, you got to catch Justin Jefferson like Isaiah Simmons can. If you can't do that, then I don't want you.
Okay. So he has to finish up my comments on
Sorry,
on
Rob.
Kyle Hamilton. All right, so he has the ability to definitely make plays on the ball, catch passes, and he takes great angles. I think that's the biggest thing with him is that he takes great angles on the ball. You know, wherever he's coming from, he's able to flip his hip, make fluid movements, and get to the ball. Your thing with him is that he may not is not a what do you call that? You know, top end. You know, he plays good at a top end speed, but he takes great angles, and that helps him in his coverage and tackling and covering the ball. So, you know, he has the skills to cover the whole field back on that back end of the defense. I understand what you're saying, but I'm looking at this thing where you're looking at a generational talent back there, and look at the size, 6'4", 220 pounds. You don't see that type of safety come around with the actual ball skills and the fluid movement that he have. Very wasted, you know, little wasted movement, and the dude can catch. He's got wide receiver type hands. So you look at this guy overall, and he's gonna have a pro day. So you know, I know we're looking at the combine. You're gonna have pro days. You know, numbers change, numbers jump. Some people get worse at their pro days, but a lot of people, you know, they're in their home environment, they're more comfortable, and those numbers go up during the pro days. But we're gonna see all of this come to fruition here in the next couple of weeks when pro days start happening. And hey, if you like this content, go ahead and like the video, share the video, comment on the videos. You know how we get down. We're on the march to 4,000, man. If you want to check us out, go over to Lions Nation Unite, man, to get some behind the scenes. We post content over there. If you want to just be part of one of the best fan group apps, go over to Lions Nation Unite, man. All of the content creators over there. You can watch our content right over there in the app, and check us out on your favorite social media platforms. You know, you can check us out on Facebook, you know, TikTok, Instagram. We're all over there hanging out. So if you want to get some behind the scenes on the crew, go ahead and check us out over there on those apps as well. Now it's time for my favorite segment of the show. We're gonna zip our lip and see what you had to say about the last show. Now we know it was a couple of weeks ago because, you know,
last.
You know, the brother was on vacation, man. But it's time for the comment cards, baby. All right, King SJ said about Josh Woods. Woods is a good, cheap depth signing, but we still need to further address our linebacking core. Hopefully, another good prospect in this upcoming draft. I believe so. It's a deep draft as well as for linebackers. One guy that I did not. I knew he was gonna have a slow pro day, but I think he's gonna end up going to the XFL. Josh Ross had a two. My God.
Yeah.
Bless you, brother. All right.
Friend of the show, the law firm Joseph Murdoch says that will be a solid D line. Hutchinson or Hamilton at 2. Just stay away from Thibodeau. If they can get the Bulldog at 32, it will be fantastic.
Ain't gonna be there now.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of Joseph was speaking about Jordan Davis. Yeah, he definitely ain't gonna be there at 32.
Nah.
But it was fun while it lasted to think that we could get him there.
Yeah. Okay, Nick Halen. That's a new name. Nick Halen. Coach is right. You can never have enough D linemen. Man, come on, Nick. Tell him. No, I mean you can't, man. You can't, you know.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Good day, good prayers with Kevin Greenho. Okay, that's a good addition to name. I say Woods has a future in this defense. Holmes was way of building this team is going to make it possible to re-sign more of our better players and give the team a better chance to make the playoffs. Okay, stay young, keep building through the draft, and then you add pieces later on. That's what they did out in LA. And you see what happened with this last season. So maybe we can do the same thing. How he helped build LA, he can help build Detroit the same way.
Yeah, please.
Right. John Robinson says, if Aiden is taken at 1, Lions would be in great shape for a trade with someone who wants Thibodeau badly, then grab Devin Lloyd and an end rusher at 32. That's what I'm thinking right now. If Hutchinson ends up going to number 1, I think they'll trade back. I think they may trade back regardless, honestly, but we shall see.
Yeah, it's 5 elite pass rushers right now in this draft, man. And
Right.
yeah, we can go on, bro. We can go on. Come on.
We didn't even talk about Boye Mafe because he was in the
Nah.
linebacker group.
Yeah, Boye Mafe, George Johnson. Yeah, we ain't talking about none of them. Or Jermaine Johnson. That's it.
Yeah.
Jermaine Johnson. Yeah. I think he ran the linebackers this week.
Yeah, that's why we talk about those because they're edge rushers. So we're gonna get those later on in the week when we break down.
Yeah, we getting ahead of ourselves, man. There's so much. There's so much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Grand Zero 12 says Coach Mike Jones, who got the funny bone today on the show. He keeps laughing. Made my day. Hey man, I'm trying to do what I can do, man. His laugh is contagious. I was rolling. Good show today. Thank you, man. I have fun on this show, just like LL and Curt, man. It's when you got guys who love football, who like talking football, you just gonna get that, man. It's contagious.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Thank you for that, Grand Zero 12. Thank everybody for your comments. Of course, leave us some comments throughout the show. We'll pick 6 of them to be read on the next comment card segment. But we're going to slide from this one over to everybody's favorite segment, and that would be the Dessert with our man Curt. What you got today for us, Curt?
Dessert with your man Curt is brought to you by Delightful Bites. Delightful Bites custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. If you like how they look, you'll love how they taste. Go over to Delightful Bites on her Facebook page. The link in the description below. If you don't do the Facebook thing, email her directly at delightfulbites18@gmail.com and get your cookie on. All right, so I just want to give some gratitude to you guys. I know I was on vacation last week, man, and I missed doing the content. I love being on vacation. I miss it, but you know, I love the love that we get from the show and seeing all the where you guys at, you know, seeing all those messages and you know, hey, it's been 2 years and my family, we need some vacation time. I need to go out and you know hang out with my wife and my son and you know and have a good time and relax because this NFL grind is going to get shorter as far as the time you have breaks because the season got extended. So when you extend the season by a week, these things roll right up on you real fast. When you start to do content, we had a little break, but then here comes the combine. Next week, guess what we got? Free agency starts next week. And then you're going to run right into the NFL draft. So a lot of things will be coming down the pipe. We're going to be pumping out this content, but the boy had to take a break and you know what I'm saying and relax with the family. But I appreciate all the love what we had on while we was on vacation last week, asking where we were at. Well, we're back now and better than ever, like my man Greeny says over there on ESPN, and I really appreciate it, and I appreciate my co-host, my man LL, and my man Coach Mike Jones. Man, they make getting up early in the morning a pleasure to do this content, which for you guys right here on the channel. And if you want more content, your boy Curt Steele. Today, you can go over and check out the Rough Cut Sportscast over on YouTube. I'm going to make an appearance on there. This is a quick little clip about free agency. So go over there. It'll be available tonight. It's called the Rough Cut Sportscast. Man, those guys are really good. These guys, they went to the same school I went to, and they're up against Rich Eisen for the best sports podcast in the podcast award. So it's a really, really good show. So go over there and check it out today. The Rough Cut Sportscast, man, those guys are really, really good. So check it out. All right, now it's time to take a walk on over to that wall of fame, baby. All right, so we got our bronzeman. We got Detroit Drew. We got Brian Stover, Jimbo G, Jeremy Barwick. Y'all know Smoking Jeremy B, the king of everything because he's the everything king. And Shano, the Insano, rounds out our bronze members. The silver members, we got Nomus J, Cap Ice Cold, Batman of the 313, Mr. Scotty the Bear, the Frenchman, baguettes and all that. And we have Henry Wallace. On our gold members, we got Mr. Reliable himself, Michael Huck, the Tornado, the always inspirational Turner C. Burley. We have a new member on the gold members wall of fame. We got Lionor the Hopeful. I like that name, Lionor the Hopeful. Okay. And then we got North End Ken, just in the D, Miles Gibbs, Random Flag 606, and the Dr. Detroit. He is always in. Hey, if you want to become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the Join Now button down in the description. And for your gold members, you know how we do it. On Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our gold members meeting. It's one-on-one with the host over on Zoom, man, and we just hang out and kick it. We talk about a whole myriad of things. We talk football. We talk life. Just come over. We have a great conversation. For the new Gold members, come on over. If you want to get in the conversation, if you're not a member of the Gold Member Wall of Fame, go ahead and, man, upgrade that subscription and come on in, man. The water's great. So now it's time for final thoughts for today's show. My man, LL, what you got?
Final thoughts. Shout out to everybody that was involved in the combine. Hopefully, you made your case better than it was before. Take that opportunity and take it all the way to the Tizop. Shout out to the Lions, man. Hopefully, we use our scouting and find and pick through some of these guys and make it work best for us. Happy Monday, and have a great one. Be kind.
Yeah. Hey, it's Monday. I'm glad to be back. I'm happy we hopping back on that train, man. Curt, hope you had a great vacation, man. And now it's time to get back to work, man. Not playing around. Not playing, man. But yeah, man, it's the combine was amazing, man. And I think maybe it was just it felt so good just because we didn't have it last year. Maybe, it's been 2 years, so we just to see it. And I just want to say that I'm mad that I missed out on the combine because I would have went. I got tickets at 110, right? They said 5 tickets available at 110. I didn't get the notification. I checked my email at 6:04. Tickets was gone. It was first come, first serve. Tickets was gone. And then I seen all them little kids up there at the combine. I was a little mad, but you know how it is, man. Let's start your week off right, man, and happy Monday.
All right, Coach Mike setting the tone, gang banging on kids. All right. All right, thanks. Good to be back. The combine was great. Like I said, it showed what we missed last year, but I mean, the name of the combine this year was speed. I mean, it was speed, and more speed. But the Lions were the actual darlings of the show. A lot of times they were kept cutting over to the Lions, looking at the scouting department, looking at Dan Campbell, looking at Brad Holmes, and they talked to the media a lot. And they were because they're in the hot spot right now, and what they can do with that number 2 pick. I think that's going to be the position of where you're going to be in the to what do you call that? Get a king's ransom for that number 2 pick, because they're guys that showed out at this combine that maybe people want to jump up and get now. And people have a plethora of picks. Like the Philadelphia Eagles picked 3 times in the first round. I mean, they pick almost like they back to back. I mean, they have 2 picks that ain't theirs in the first round. So they have a lot of draft capital where they can either make themselves a really good team, and they can jump up and get a guy like Thibodeau or somebody like that for their defense. So, fingers crossed. All right, definitely. But it's Monday. It's, this grind starts today, man. And we appreciate you guys. I'm happy to be back right here with you guys, creating this content for you right here on Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Lions Nation Unite. But Monday starts the grind, man. So you know what you guys do for your boy. Crumbs off your face, finish your drink, and get back to work, baby. And whatever you're doing in life, you know what you got to do for your boy. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL and Coach Mike, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon. We love you, Jim.